In the filibuster, expand the court, take away your constitutional rights under the Second Amendment. Well, we just heard that that's exactly what the Democrats want.
I look at the New Jersey that I grew up in. I did not grow up in a New Jersey where people were carrying guns on their hips.
Everytown USA, Mr. Wilcox has been working with our government to implement this, to target Second Amendment.
The law is going to remain in effect, and we are going to be safer as a result.
In other states for criminal acts and those who have stated a desire to get a weapon to do harm.
Controversial gun law faces federal court challenge. All right, let's dive into the wild world of New Jersey's controversial gun law and the roller coaster ride it's taken through the courts. Buckle up, folks. So picture this. Governor Phil Murphy signs this new gun law in New Jersey, and bam! The same day, a bunch of gun owners jumps in with their legal guns blazing. They're not having any of it and immediately challenge the law. It's like the Wild West, but with legal documents. Fast forward to January and May, and a federal judge in Camden gets all judgy.
In the filibuster, expand the court, take away your constitutional rights under the Second Amendment. Well, we just heard that that's exactly what the Democrats want.
The Bruin decision radically changed how courts determine whether gun safety laws are constitutional.
They issue not one, but multiple orders, slapping the law's enforcement on the wrist. They're like, nah, you can't do that, and definitely not that. So for a while, the law is in a bit of a legal limbo. Now, here's where it gets spicy. This case isn't just your run-of-the-mill courtroom drama. It's got major stakes. This legal showdown will decide whether gun owners in New Jersey get to pack heat in places lawmakers consider sensitive. That's like the ultimate showdown between personal freedom and public safety. Think about it. The outcome of this battle could affect where you can take your firearm. Can you hit the beach?
I look at the New Jersey that I grew up in. I did not grow up in a New Jersey where people were carrying guns on their hips.
Pack heat at a park or grab a brew at the bar with your trusty sidearm? It's like something out of a Hollywood movie, but it's happening in real life. So New Jersey's gun law isn't just some boring piece of legislation. It's become a symbol of the ongoing debate between gun rights and public safety. Will it pass the legal test, or will gun owners have to holster their weapons in sensitive places? Only time and the courts will tell, but for now, grab some popcorn and enjoy the show. Appeals panel questions impact. Picture this. The appeals panel, consisting of judges Cheryl Ann Krause, Cindy K. Chung, and David J. Porter, stepped into the legal arena, ready to grapple with the complexities of New Jersey's gun law. They weren't here for a quick chat. It was a marathon 3-hour session, and things got intense. The star of the show, Judge Krause, wasted no time in raising a pivotal issue that sent shockwaves through the courtroom. She cut right to the heart of the matter, questioning the potential infringement on Second Amendment rights. It was a legal bombshell. She asked, if we accept all the arguments made here, where can individuals exercise their right to public carry? It's a bit like asking, can you have your cake and eat it too? Can you have your gun rights and public safety simultaneously? What made this moment truly captivating was that Judge Krause wasn't just there to go through the motions. She was genuinely concerned about the impact of the law on the fundamental rights enshrined in the Second Amendment. It's like she was holding a mirror up to the law, examining its reflection for any cracks or inconsistencies. But the judges weren't content with merely scratching the surface. They acknowledged the elephant in the room.
Democrats to restrict Second Amendment rights, like requiring background checks for transfers of firearms.
The world has changed since the days when powdered wigs were in vogue and muskets were considered state-of-the-art weaponry. They recognize that modern complexities, like mass slayings and advances in firearms technology, have thrown a wrench into the works. It's as if they're saying, we can't ignore the fact that times have changed. These judges weren't confined to a historical echo chamber. They understood that interpreting the Second Amendment in today's world required a nuanced approach. They were wrestling with the idea that the right to bear arms, as defined in the late 1700s, didn't foresee the challenges and dilemmas we face in the 21st century. It's like navigating a twisty, turning legal maze where the path isn't clear-cut. In the end, what we witnessed in that courtroom was a clash between tradition and the modern world. The judges grappled with the difficult task of balancing the constitutional right to bear arms with the evolving landscape of public safety concerns. It's a reminder that the law isn't static. It adapts and evolves with society.
That our law enforcement groups have given us to this bill, because that's vitally important. I felt that was extraordinarily important.
But this could potentially impact millions of Americans, law-abiding, Second Amendment supporting Americans.
As this legal drama unfolds, it's not just about the fate of New Jersey's gun law. It's about how our legal system grapples with the changing face of society. It's a case that will undoubtedly be discussed and dissected for years to come. So, stay tuned for the next episode in this gripping legal saga. The legal debate. Let's dive into the legal quagmire surrounding the definition of sensitive places and gun ownership in the state of New Jersey. This is like trying to navigate a maze with a few missing walls, and the results are nothing short of intriguing. First off, we have the law itself, and it's a bit like that cryptic riddle that's open to interpretation. The trouble begins with the lack of specificity in defining what constitutes a sensitive place. It's as if lawmakers handed us a puzzle with half the pieces missing, and the result is a state of utter confusion. People are left scratching their heads, wondering where they can and can't carry their firearms. It's a bit like playing a game of Where's Waldo without knowing who Waldo is.
Everytown USA, Mr. Wilcox has been working with our government to implement this to target Second Amendment.
What's even more bizarre is that not even the bigwigs of New Jersey, Senate President Nicholas Scutari and Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin, could provide a clear, comprehensive list of places where gun owners are free to carry their weapons. It's like trying to name all the planets in the solar system and realizing that you missed a few. If the folks who crafted the law are having trouble making heads or tails of it, you know it's complicated. But wait, there's a glimmer of clarity in the darkness. New Jersey Deputy Solicitor General Angela Kai steps in like a guiding light, cutting through the fog of uncertainty. She clarifies that amid all this chaos, there are some safe zones for gun owners. You can stroll down the streets, roam around public land.
And all those cases, he's going to list maybe hundreds more, they involve guns that are not banned by this.
The law is going to remain in effect, and we are going to be safer as a result.
Or even carry on private property if you've got the owner's green light. And if you find yourself in an area that's not labeled as a sensitive place, you're in the clear. It's like she's holding a lantern in the midst of a foggy night. So while the law may be shrouded in confusion, there are at least some areas where gun owners can feel a little more secure. It's like finding an oasis in a legal desert. Angela Kai's clarification offers a glimmer of hope for those trying to understand the law's intricacies. Judges challenge justification. First up, we've got Judge David J. Porter, who's not one to tiptoe around the issues. He throws a curveball by questioning the $50 fee for gun permit applicants. He's like, hold on, why is the state charging people to exercise a constitutional right? It's like going to a public park and being told you need to pay just to enjoy the fresh air. It doesn't sit right with him. But that's not all. Attorney Erin Murphy, representing the gun owner plaintiffs, steps into the ring. She's got her gloves on and raises concerns about law-abiding gun owners.
Where you guys worked with the ATF to change something that had been the law for 10 years.
Being asked to compensate crime victims. It's a bit like telling someone who's never caused a car accident to pay for other drivers' accidents just because they own a car. It seems like a real head-scratcher, right? However, Angela Kai, New Jersey's Deputy Solicitor General, steps in to play peacemaker. She explains that the $50 fee isn't just a random number plucked from thin air. It's there to keep up with inflation, and it's meant to cover the increased costs of policing. The state anticipates a surge in applications for gun carry permits, thanks to recent legal changes. It's like saying, we need to keep the lights on, folks. But the judges aren't quite buying it. They're not convinced that the fees are entirely fair, and they're questioning whether law-abiding citizens should bear the financial burden for something they haven't caused. This whole episode highlights the fine balance between the right to bear arms and the need for reasonable regulations. It's a legal tightrope walk where every step is crucial.
Ensuring that we don't have guns in sensitive spaces entirely consistent.
Democrats to restrict Second Amendment rights, like requiring background checks for transfers of firearms.
The questions raised by the judges, along with the concerns of gun owners, show that this debate isn't just about laws, it's about ethics, finances, and the broader implications of legal changes. As the case unfolds, it's evident that the court will have to weigh the financial and constitutional aspects carefully, and their decision will undoubtedly have far-reaching consequences, not just for New Jersey, but for the broader national conversation about gun rights and regulation. Gun control advocates rally. Picture this: about 40 dedicated members from Moms Demand Action and Every Town for Gun Safety gathered outside the courthouse, and they meant business. It was a display of solidarity with the law that they believed could make New Jersey a safer place.
Have magazine bans.
Would the gentleman
and
yield
compare
for a
those to the
question?
State of Florida, where we have freedom and the ability to carry whatever firearm we want.
In other states for criminal acts, and those who have stated a desire to get a weapon to do harm.
Their presence was like a visual shout-out to the world, saying, "We care about our communities and their safety." And that's not all. New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin made a surprise appearance at the rally. He didn't just show up. He grabbed the mic and delivered a powerful message. He emphasized that New Jersey's gun safety laws were instrumental in making the state one of the safest places with low gun violence rates. It's like saying, "Hey, our laws work and they make a difference." His words added gravity to the rally and gave a thumbs up to the law's supporters. But what really tugged at the heartstrings was the story shared by one of the rally's participants, Sue Repko.
Here's a 12-round magazine. This magazine would be banned under this current bill. It doesn't fit.
Declare that any laws restricting gun access had to be deeply, deeply rooted.
She opened up about a deeply personal tragedy that her family endured due to a lack of gun regulation. It was a poignant reminder that the consequences of lax gun laws aren't just statistics, they're real human stories with lasting impacts. Sue expressed her concerns about allowing guns in sensitive places, and it was a call for change that resonated with everyone present. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.